Today, we're talking about creating a culture of authenticity. Last video, we talked about the mission, and mission is incredibly important, but equally as important is creating a culture of authenticity to flourish in. Now, just like last time, we're going to start by defining our terms. Culture answers the question, how do we actually do things? Now, everyone's got a culture. Your family has a culture, your school has a culture, your teams have a culture, your business has a culture, everything has a culture. And I really think when I hear the word culture, I think immediately of environment. What environment am I in that I can flourish in? That's what cultures do. They create environments for people, and sometimes they're successful and sometimes they're not. One really good successful environment I was in was back in 2011. I got to play for Pete Carroll. Now, Pete Carroll was an incredible master environment creator. He did things that were very unconventional in the coaching world at the time, and that a lot of that led to his success at USC and then with the Seahawks. Now, when I got to the Seahawks, it was widely different from any team I'd played for, including college. It was very fast-paced. I can remember some practices where players are panting in the NFL, and they're elite athletes, and they're just exhausted. But Pete Carroll did an interesting thing. He would play loud music, country music, rap music, pop music, as loud as he could, and it would just get people fired up because he was really trying to cultivate this environment of fun and excitement. Now, that was contagious, and that was key. Players and coaches and training staff began to catch this excitement, and they would bring it into their workplace. It was huge, and that led to tons of success for us on the football field, but more importantly, the team was a team, and it led to awesome team culture. That meant players were in good relationships with one another. Coaches had great relationships with the players. You could walk up to a coach and tell them exactly what was on your mind because you were excited and you knew that everyone was a part of this culture together. That was the environment that Pete laid for us as players. Now, I think the crucial element with Coach Pete did was he was authentic. He created this authentic culture. People could be who they were, and that's important for us to remember in leadership. You can be you as however you were gifted. If you're gifted to stand up and preach and speak, great. If you're better off facilitating a discussion, facilitate a discussion, but be you. Listen, there are no cookie cutter versions of leadership here. You're going to have to move in the direction you're called to move in. That makes sense. And we even see that in Corinthians. For just as the body is one and has many members, and all the members of the body, though many, are one body, so it is with Christ. So what Paul's telling the Corinthians is that all of us have a place. All of us are members of the body, regardless of what member you are. You may be the speaker. You may be the facilitator. You may be the mentor. You may be the one-on-one person. You may be that person. But what's important to know is that you have a place and that when you play it, you impact the culture positively for the flourishing of the whole culture and the environment. Especially in our generation now, today, authenticity is hugely important. People are going to get authenticity with their coaches. They're going to get authenticity in their jobs and with their families. They're going to get authenticity on TV, with reality TV. They get authenticity everywhere. If you get up and try to lead and you're being somebody else or you're just not authentic, you're just someone else, people are going to sniff that out. They're really smart. So it's very important that you're just yourself and you just be who you are while you're leading. I want you to work through the questions below. Those are going to help you to answer who you are, what you're best at, and how can you best utilize that. That way, if you can get the most out of yourself and be exactly who you are, you're going to best create a good culture and ultimately a great environment for people to grow in. Hey, once you're done with this lesson, we'll have talked about the mission and the culture. Next time, we're going to be talking about why buying into the FCA's vision is crucial.